And now joining me on the show are Adya Juneja to give us all the insights from the world of business, Nikita Singh to tell us what is making the buzz in the tech world, and Atira Sasidharan to bring us all the updates from the world of sports. And we begin by going over to Adya for market updates.
Global markets are moving fast and key business stories are shaping the week. From US-China trade talks to Alibaba's AI momentum, America's job market jitters and even Halloween prices shocks. Here's your global business wrap. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says a big breakthrough is likely in the next round of US-China trade talks. At the heart of the standoff is Beijing's halt on US soybean imports, a bargaining chip just as the American harvest comes in. Trump is backing farmers with support measures, while a pull-aside meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping in late October could be decisive. With the tariff truce expiring November 10th, the pressure is building fast. And while diplomacy plays out, investors are betting on China's biggest tech name. Alibaba has rallied $250 billion this year, doubling its US-listed stock and making it China's hottest AI trade. Yet shares remain 65% below their 2020 peak, leaving room for more gains. The e-commerce giant is expanding its $53 billion AI budget, while Alibaba Cloud jumped 26% in revenue last quarter. Global funds are still underweight, but fear of missing out is driving new inflows. Some sees valuation risks, but with AI momentum, Alibaba is now the face of China's tech self-reliance. But across the Pacific, America's labor market is flashing red as job growth slows sharply. Employers have announced nearly 950,000 job cuts this year, the most since 2020. Hiring plans are running at their weakest pace since the greatest recession. Private payrolls fell 32,000 in September, badly missing forecasts, and job openings are down 17% year over year. Markets want weak enough data to push the Fed towards rate cuts, but not so weak that it signals a recession. And those cracks in the economy are showing up in surprising places like Halloween. US tariffs on Chinese imports are hitting the Halloween industry hard. Roughly 90% of costumes and props contain Chinese-made parts, and costs are soaring. Retailers say child costumes will cost at least $5 to $10 more this year, while big-ticket items are being shelved altogether. Shoppers are expected to spend a record $114 per person, but for small businesses, tariffs are the real horror story this season. Well, this is it from the world of business. Now for all the tech updates, it's over to you, Nikita.
Well, thanks so much, Adya. First up, OpenAI has asked a federal judge to throw out Elon Musk's lawsuit, calling it an act of poaching staff and stealing trade secrets from XAI. Now, in its filing on Thursday, OpenAI called the case part of Musk's ongoing harassment and said that the claims are baseless. The company argued that XAI employees are free to leave and that it is entitled to hire them if it wants to. Now, the court battle marks the latest flashpoint in the rivalry between Musk and the AI giant he helped co-found. Next up, India's Financial Intelligence Unit has issued notices to 25 crypto exchanges, accusing them of violating anti-money laundering laws. Platforms including BingX, LBank and Poloniex have been ordered to pull off their apps and websites. Together, 14 of the 25 crypto exchanges hold over $9 billion in assets. In March 2023, India placed crypto platforms under its anti-money laundering law, requiring them to register with Financial Intelligence Unit of India, also known as FIUIND, and report all transactions. And lastly, a new US government report says Chinese AI models lag far behind American ones in performance, cost, security, and adoption. Now, according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology report, Chinese models like DeepSeek are vulnerable to hacking and pose risks to AI developers, consumers, and US national security because of their shortcomings and censorship. On nearly 20 benchmarks, DeepSeek scored lower than US models and was found to align more closely with the Chinese government's narratives. The review follows President Trump's AI action plan, who had ordered for closer security of China's frontier AI systems this year in July. Well, that's it from the world of tech. Now my colleague Atra would be taking you through some sports updates. Over to you, Atra.
Thank you so much, Nikita, for all the updates from the world of technology. Now let's look at the top sports stories we are tracking for you at this hour. We'll begin with cricket first. India opener KL Rahul brought an end to his 9-year wait for a home century in Test cricket. He brought up the triple-digit score on day 2 of the first Test against the West Indies in Ahmedabad. His last home 100 was 199 against England in Chennai back in December 2016. This is only his second century at home, but 11th Test century overall. Staying with cricket, Bangladesh have kicked off their Women's World Cup campaign with a 7th wicket win over Pakistan. This marks only their second ever win in the tournament and interestingly their first win also against Pakistan. Fatima Sana won the toss and Pakistan elected to bat first, but they struggled and were bowled out for 129 in 38.3 overs. Bangladesh made a nervy start to their chase and crawled to 35 for 2, but Rubia Haidar's 54 helped Bangladesh chase the target with 113 balls remaining. The result means that Pakistan have only won one of their last 22 World Cup matches and 3 out of their 31 overall. Over in tennis, Carlos Alcaraz, Iga Swiatek and several other top players have criticized the sport's packed and demanding schedule. However, 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic says that talk of change has been going on for 15 years and that players still aren't united enough to make it happen. Mandatory tournaments for both men and women include the 4 Grand Slams. Top WTA players are required to play all 10 WTA 1000 tournaments and at least 6 WTA 500 tournaments. On the ATP side, top players must compete in all 8 ATP Masters 1000 events and at least 4 ATP 500 tournaments. Over to football now. Nottingham Forest suffered a defeat to Danish club Midtjylland in its first home game in a European competition in almost 30 years. Manager Postecoglou was subjected to chance of being sacked in the morning following the Europa League disappointment. The 3-2 loss leaves Postecoglou winless in his first 6 matches in charge of the Forest. He is now the first permanent Forest manager in over 100 years to fail to win any of his first 6 matches. Well, with that, we have come to the end of the sports segment. It's back to you, Diksha.
Right. Thank you so much, Athira, Nikita and Adya for getting us all those updates. And with that, it's time for us to slip into a very short break. Stay tuned. You're watching WION World is One.